What up, YouTube? It's your boy Ghost. I'm coming to you from inside the Black Pearl. Oh man, today I'm dropping this video to do a pros and cons of driving a automatic. As you all know, the Black Pearl is a 2016 freightliner cascadia automatic, and today I'm gonna tell y'all my pros and cons that I've gathered since I've had this truck, since I've been driving it. So today we're in the Pearl. We had to sit Jezebel down for a week. She had to go to the hospital and get some serious repairs done to her. So we'll have her out. Hopefully. Oh shoot. Hopefully by Callie dropped the iPad, but hopefully we'll have her out the shop tomorrow. So I jumped in the Pearl to still make some money, still be profitable for the week. So yeah, let's get into this. The pros and cons of driving an automatic. Let's start with the pros. First pro is it's an automatic. So when it comes to LA traffic, you ain't got to shift, you ain't got to do none of that. You can eat food, you can drink whatever you want to drink. You can really just, it's a lot more, how can I put it? It's like driving a big car or a giant U-Haul. I guess that would be my opinion of one of the pros is you ain't got to shift, especially sitting in traffic. You can just sit there and coast and just do what you got to do. Now another pro is it's pretty decent on fuel mileage. It can go the distance, and let's see what else would another pro be. I mean, automatics is just, it's a simple, flick of the switch, and, there you go. It's just, you flick the little switch up here. One thing that I didn't know how to do when I first jumped in the truck was how to turn on the jakes on this. Like, it took me a cool minute to try to figure out how the jake brake work. But on a little knob, which I'll show y'all, there's a little thing where it goes up and down, and you can change the range selector from reverse to drive, and on that's where that's where your jake is too. I didn't realize you gotta just push it down. One of the cons to that is I've noticed when it's like in like 12 gear, and say like this is a 12 speed, so when you put the jake on high, it'll like dump the transmission into like 10th gear, and it'll go from like 15,000 RPMs to damn near 20. So it kind of scared me when I first, I wasn't used to that. And I would say, that's like a con, because I've never, revved the truck up that high. I thought it was bad for it to rev that high. So, the automatic does its own thing sometimes. It be going that high. So I would say that's a con, because I really don't know. I'm not too familiar with the transmission in this. I know it's not an Eaton Fuller, it's something else. I think it's like Allison or something like that. So I would say that's a con, because I'm just not used to a truck revving that high, and I'll be trying to, stab brake and do all this other stuff. So it's a different experience. I realized that I got to drive it like a manual. Like I had to flick the little switch and go to manual, because I wasn't used to, what do you call it? It like shifting like that. So, I would say that's a con. Another con is you get lazy. Like, you kind of forget that you're in a truck, and when it comes to like people breaking and doing stuff like that, it's like your reaction time, since you're just sitting back, you're basically a steering wheel holder. Your reaction time isn't the same as when you're dealing with a clutch, and you're dealing with the the shifter. To me, it just seems like it's a lot different. It's like night and day. At least with the shifter, that, hey, if you start falling under a certain RPMs, you need to jump on the stick and downshift. And this is not like that, because it downshifts automatically, and you get kind of lazy. In a stick, you can't do that, because you'll stall out. You can't stall out in an automatic. I mean, if you do, it's kind of weird. Another thing that I've noticed, that every so often, the automatic, it won't go into like gear. Like it'll kind of get stuck or frozen. So that was kind of like an issue that I wasn't used to when I first started really driving it. Another thing that kind of, I guess, worried me was, what do you call it? Has to do with the shifting. Like the way it shifts, like it has a mind of its own sometimes. And I remember I was talking to Warren, and he was telling me, because he had a Volvo that was an automatic. He was like, yeah, I would go down a hill and it would just go into neutral. So yeah, I experienced that, and that I wasn't used to that. You know, when you have the cruise on and you're just cruising, and then I guess it's a way of it to save fuel or some feature it has, but it'll scare the mess out of you. All of a sudden you going 80 miles an hour, or you'll be going like 70, and it'll just say E. And I was like, what the heck does E mean? And it basically went to like neutral, and I was like, oh shoot. So I'm like, what the hell is going on with this thing? So I started hitting the brake, and it, like, you know, finally decided to jump back into gear. But that's something else too, that, you know, if you've never driven an automatic like this one, that's something that, you know, it's something to get used to. Another thing, I guess another con would be backing up. Like in this truck, I feel like a rookie backing up, because it has like this weird lag to it. Like when you go to back up, and it's like with the clutch, you know, you can feather the clutch, and, you know, you have more control, I feel, when it comes to backing up versus in an automatic. In this one, it's like you gotta feather with the gas pedal, and then I'll be sitting up there going like this, and yeah, it's a whole nother ball game when it comes to backing up. And then sometimes the transmission doesn't want to respond with the pedal, so you be hitting the gas, and all of a sudden the transmission will catch, and it'll just shoot you back, and you be like, oh shoot, or you'll like ram the dock real hard. It just makes you feel like a rookie. So that's another thing that I've noticed. Like backing up in this truck it's not fun at all. That's something I'm still not used to. I mean, right now I was sitting up here feathering it, trying to make sure I was on the dock. There's been times where I thought I touched the dock, but I was like 2 feet away. So it was kind of like, oh shoot, are you serious? So yeah, that's something else that, you know, I had to get used to. But overall, I like the truck. Overall, I would give it, if I was to rate this one compared to Jezebel, I would probably give this truck a, on the performance, I would probably give it a 8 compared to Jezebel. Even though Jezebel, you know, she had her problems. When she was in her prime, she could run. So, you know, that's something that, when it comes to these two, that's something else too. Because, you know, me and my cousin, we got to a light one day when we were doing these UPS runs, and he looked at me, I looked at him, and he, you know, hit the gas on me a little bit and had the truck do a little lurch. And I looked at him and I said, all right, let's go. So light turned green, we took off. I'll tell you right now that a stick is always faster than an automatic truck, because I walked on this truck, because the transmission just wouldn't catch up to it. So that's something we've learned. That then again, I got Jezebel turned up to like 505, so, you know, she's pushing 500 horses. But this one I think is only pushing like 450. I want it 455. So it's not turned up or anything, because, you know, it's still under warranty, so I ain't trying to avoid it. But other than that, power wise, I would give it to a stick. You know, to me it seems like the stick's a lot more powerful when it comes to pulling hills, even though this one can pull hills too. But I don't know, I just feel like I have more power with the stick. That's just my personal opinion. Versus with the automatic, it's all right, you know. I would say, but overall, automatics are good trucks for me. Being that, you know, I want to be a fleet owner and I want to own a bunch of trucks one day, I think automatics will be one of the ways to go for, you know, company trucks, because it's less wear and tear on the transmission. Because, you know, it's very hard to bust a clutch in automatic, from what, you know, I've been paying attention to. Even though I know that I guess another con is the transmission on this sucker, or at least the clutch, is like, I think I paid $1,500 for my clutch for Jezebel. They say the clutch alone for an automatic is like $4 to $6 grand. So that's something else that, you know, even though it's an automatic, the clutch, they say it's stupid expensive to replace. So, you know, that's something I'm not looking forward to. But hopefully I get, you know, a good run out of this. I get at least 500,000 miles out of it before I have to replace the clutch. At least I got that out of Jezebel. You know, I think I replaced the clutch on her at 575. And that's because I just took it in to do it. I probably could have squeezed out a few more. But yeah, overall, you know, my bad, I got interrupted by the dude. I guess he was giving me my paperwork. But overall, I would say the 2016 Freightliner Cascadia Evolution Automatic, it's a good company truck. It's a good truck for a company driver. If you want to grow a fleet, it's, you know, it's a good truck because, you know, when it comes to wear and tear, it's, you know, it's not too much wear and tear on the truck. It's an automatic, so, you know, you're gonna save in fuel mileage. It's a Cascadia, so it's got the DD15 in it. So overall, it's a win when it comes to, you know, for company. Like, if you just gonna put drivers in it, it's a good truck. You know, this one is actually, it's got it's, you know, somewhat fully loaded. It's got all the little gauges, got all the whistles and bells. It's got power outlets. It's got an inverter. It's got basically everything a company driver would need. It's got a fridge. I actually just put in a TV in here, so, you know, overall it's a pretty solid truck for, you know, the company driver. It's got everything they need to be good on the road. It's got the chain hangers, so, you know, it's got everything you need. It's got the broom and the little thing to hold the brooms and load locks and everything else in the back. You know, but overall, it's a really good. It's a really good truck. You know, this truck's been pretty good. It's you know, it's been pretty well. It's done me pretty well. You know. It held it down while I had to, you know, shut Jezebel down for 30 days. And, I mean, overall, I like the truck. It's something that, you know, I would really consider getting another automatic in the future. I would highly consider it, especially if I'm just going to put company drivers in it. So, yeah, it's your boy Ghost. This is my pros and cons for driving a Freightliner Cascadia, the automatic. So, yeah. Catch me in the next video. Love, peace, prosperity, and I will see y'all later. Deuces.